All aboard the hype train!
Choo-choo, motherfucker!
And we're live. Welcome back, everyone, to episode 8 of the Hype Train podcast with me, your host, Magnazan. We've got our ever special friend back. Oh, actually, not a special friend. Are you a special friend? Maybe you're a special friend. SteveFPV.
Good
Probably not
afternoon.
as special as Jacko, are you?
No, I'm here too often.
Are you here as often as Jacko, though? Or less?
Not too sure. Haven't
We'll have to
counted.
do a count. Yeah, I'm not sure. But we do actually have another real guest. Last episode we had Matt Wellington on. This time we've got an FPV racer on. Somebody relatively unknown who's become pretty well known, I think, by beating quite a number of the top pilots in New Zealand. Michael Douglas. How you doing, Michael?
Hi everyone, pretty good, thanks.
Thanks for coming on. So, for those that don't know who you are, just give a quick introduction to yourself, where you're from, how long you've been racing, that kind of stuff.
Alright, I'm Michael Douglas, I live in Wellington. I've been I've been flying for almost a year now, I think. Yeah, so I started with a little Hubsan, one of those little tiny things, a year ago.
Oh, yeah, yep. Only a year. Jeez.
Yeah,
All right.
a year ago.
Wow. Have you flown anything before that or not?
No. I played a lot of computer games though, I think it helps a lot.
Ah, okay, so you're a thumber then, presumably.
Pinch, no, I started with Thumb. That's the
Wow,
interesting
okay.
thing. I made the switch
okay.
over.
And you changed. That's amazing in its own self.
Did somebody convince you to do that, or did you just choose to do it?
Mr. Steele, I think. It was probably, a video of him talking about it, and a few other people I saw were doing it, and so I just committed myself to doing it. It took about 2 weeks to be comfortable, but after that felt a lot better.
Yeah, I've managed to convince a few people to do it, and it took about the same sort of time frame. But everyone after it seems to like it. I mean, what's your general thought on after you'd converted and got used to it? What was your kind of general thought on it, and on what was improved?
I just feel like I have a lot more like fine control, and things like if you're going to yaw to the left, it's easier to yaw without changing the throttle, or the same thing applies to the roll.
Yeah, yep. Oh, okay, interesting.
Another thing that I suffer from is like really bad shaky hands, so it helps a lot with that.
I think everybody suffers from that. I don't think that ever really goes away, particularly in a race situation.
Yeah.
All right, so that's cool. So let's do a around the table. It's only been a week since we did the last podcast for me. So Stefan, I guess you can go first this time.
What have I been up to? I've just been doing more adventure flying, actually. I've just been like doing acro spots and stuff like that recently. Just flying whenever.
What's acro?
Yeah, what's acro? I've just been flying when
Who does
the need
that?
hits me, really. Yeah.
How have you even been flying in this sort of wind anyway?
Oh, I've got no problem with the wind. It's
I
just
suppose
not
race flight.
making YouTube videos. That's all.
True.
Yeah.
So where have you been flying? Anywhere interesting?
Oh,
I saw
I've
your
been flying at
that-
awesome locations. Central North Island. I did a whole lot of flying around the Tongariro National Park, just a beautiful part of New Zealand. And just some other places on the North Shore as well. I've been flying
secret locations or locations you can tell
a
us.
few secret locations.
Okay.
Some of those.
And they're all on your
Tongariro-
YouTube?
No. And then
Ooh.
like up that North Shore track again. That was a good day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the in Smack one? That
Yep.
one?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Did you do the actual track, or were you just acroing?
Oh, just having fun, really. Did the track a bit. Got bored of it because... Oh, yeah, I did the Matamata event as well.
Oh, yeah. Jackie was talking about that last episode. So how did you find that?
That was a good event. It's always a bit interesting because every time I go to one of these rotocross events now, Matthew Wellington has sort of done the points a bit different, but I'm too lazy to go look into it, so I kind of just wing it on the day and just try to do as well as possible, and it worked for me because I got second or first or
No, I think you won that, didn't you?
yeah. I think I didn't.
First on points, yeah.
Yeah, I won it on points, but on most of the races I was coming second.
Ah, you see, it's the old points game again. And you were at that, weren't you, Michael?
Yeah, I was.
And how did you get on?
I did alright. I did my best.
Yep.
How did
We
you
had
find the
some-
event, though?
We had a few good battles, me and Michael.
Yeah, very close. Good races.
Did many people do recordings of the laps or not? Because I remember the Tapo one, you had quite a good DVR recording.
I was
didn't
going to
do
get
anything.
some DVR, but I completely forgot. So
Yeah.
no.
The problem I'm having is that my DVI actually doesn't work with my diversity receiver. It goes all washed out for some reason.
What?
Yeah, crazy, isn't
What
it?
receiver is it?
It's just in FR632 diversity.
So
Yeah, shouldn't do that. Can you not post process it afterwards?
Nope, it's actually clipping the video.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really bad. So if I want
Ooh.
to get DVR recording, no, but the problem is the next wave one isn't any good.
Not too, it's not too bad.
Pretty bad. I wouldn't be
No,
able
with
to
the
play a
nom-
2521 event with that next wave integrated.
No, you just need a decent antenna rather than that crappy ass fat chop one you've got on there.
Anyway, it's too complicated at the time to get it to work. Interesting though,
okay.
I thumb.
that's
Uh-huh.
probably why you're coming second.
Radio. Sorry, what was that?
It's probably why you're coming second.
Yeah, probably.
Sick
so
burns from
what does
Michael.
Scott Taylor, does he pitch or thumb?
He thumbs actually. No,
Does
he
he?
pinches. He
No,
pinches.
he
No, he
must
pinches.
pinch.
No, he's
So
a
I must
pincher.
be
He's a
Top
heli guy.
pilot that uses his thumbs.
I think Brad uses his thumbs.
Interesting.
Yeah, BKFPV is a thumber from memory.
Yeah,
Um,
it's weird. Like people like I think Matty Stunts, that guy thumbs.
Yeah.
Like some top pilots thumb.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Because
well, Night Fury thumbs. It's yeah,
That's
something
right.
you get used to it. There
I
are
would like
benefits
to
to
use
both.
pinch, but I tried it and I just couldn't get used to it, and I couldn't have the same really quick motions that I get when I'm thumbing. So I just said, I'll make thumbing work.
Yeah, I mean it does work. It all depends on your style of flying.
Hmm.
I just find that I can lower my rates down quite a bit and fly a lot smoother with pinching rather than thumbing. But that's more of a heli hangover than anything else.
Interesting.
All right. So anything else you've been up to?
No, not really. Just
Yeah,
enjoying it.
Cool.
Haven't been
All
much
right.
practice. Just enjoying flying.
Michael, do you want to have a go? What have you been up to this week
Been
or last
pretty-
2 weeks?
Pretty busy this week, building stuff. I put a race flight revolt on 2 of my builds.
Yeah. Hype.
I was putting it off for a long time because I heard about problems that people have been having.
No,
It's
I'm going to stop
awesome.
you right there. There are no problems. It's all user error.
Well, I
Granted,
think without your guide, I don't know, because there are some things in there that I'm not sure.
A lot. 99% is it's user error and people not reading the manual. Like, there's a whole bunch of there's a website dedicated to setting it up initially, and then all my guide does is just tweak it for the revolt,
Right.
and that's it. But I would agree that the lack of documentation doesn't help with the initial setup, and it is a massive leap. I wouldn't say it's a massive leap. It's a bigger leap from beta flight to race flight. You can't just chuck it on a board and fly it. However, in saying that, Race Flight 1, which I've been testing, is amazeballs, and you can just flash that and fly it. So,
What's the difference? What makes it better?
oh well, okay. So the background is that Race Flight was originally a fork of Beta Flight, I think, or a fork of Clean Flight and Beta Flight, and they rewrote a bunch of stuff to run what we now know as multi-shot. because multi-shot wasn't in beta flight and Boris wasn't doing anything with it. So RS2K rewrote a bunch of stuff so that it would work with multi-shot, and then started writing a separate PID controller, but still based on the old code. Then there was a massive hoo-ha about, oh, you're not releasing your updated code. So basically what they've now done is that they've taken what they've learned from that version, rewritten it so that it's their own code, with their own GUI, own PID controller, own filters, everything else, and basically it's just a ground up rewritten for the actual architecture it's on, so the F4 architecture, and specifically for the Revolt at the moment. And what that's actually done is it's sped up the code immensely, so they can just put all this mad filtering stuff in. And I kid you not, if you've not seen my video on Instagram, go and watch it. That is bone stock Raceflight 1 with just my rates on it. And I was hammering the sticks to try and get it to prop wash oscillate, which is generally a sign of the PID control and how well that's working and the filters and whatnot. I couldn't get it to move. It was literally like a simulator. Like previously, you could make it oscillate if you really wanted it to, but it would fly awesome 99% of the time. I could not get it to oscillate. I dropped in through my prop wash, was doing split S's all over the place, doing those hard 180s, the split S's over gates, the real low ones where you come in, dump the throttle, and then get back on the throttle again. Nothing would upset it. It was insane. So it was like a simulator. You don't get any prop wash in a simulator. Exactly the same.
That's actually the feeling that I had the first time I flew the new race flight builds. It felt a lot more like a simulator.
Yeah, that's the only way I can describe it to people when they go, "What does it fly like?" It's like it flies like a simulator. Because I remember when I was talking to Gareth, who organises the flight club races up here, when he was asking about it. At the time, I think he was asking about simulators, and I said, "Look, go and get this the drone, the UK one. I forget the name of it now. FPV event one." I said, "Go and get that. It's awesome. That's pretty much what my quad flies like in there." And he's like, "You're cheating if it flies like that." He hadn't tried Raceflight at the time. Put Raceflight on, and he go, "Fuck, this is exactly the same as the simulator." I was like, "Yeah." And Brad also flew my machine. BKFPV, he flew my machine after he came up to Auckland for a while, and he was like, "Dude, you're just cheating." And he said if he had my machine, I wouldn't stand a chance because it pretty much just flies itself.
Probably true.
Yeah, and John said today, 99% of my flying skill is my race flight machine. It does make it a lot easier though. I always say that there's a few things that affect how good somebody gets and the speed at which they get better. The first one is the goggles and being able to see for a start. So having decent gear, obviously you need to be able to see. But the second one is a well-tuned quad. Like if your quad flies like a bag of arse and drifts all over the place and doesn't do what you tell it to, and it's oscillating and all this other funky stuff, then you'd never have any confidence to point it at a hole or a gap and go.
And the problem is that if you're new to flying, you just don't know what to expect as well until you actually played around it and got it to do different stuff.
Yeah. I mean, what were you on before you ran your race flight machine, Michael?
I was on the X-Racer F303.
Running beta flight?
Version 3 beta flight, yeah. Latest beta flight. It was flying pretty good, but it's not really comparable.
You should try beta flight on an F4 as well. That also made a big difference when I tried it.
Yeah, same.
I got the same sort of feeling between race flight and beta flight on the F4 board compared to the F3 board.
It was pretty similar.
You can't run the 32K on beta flight.
No, you can't. But it's
I think you can. I think you can with the newer builds. I think on the 3.1 you can.
Still had that sort of simulator feeling, even on beta flight on some of the F4 boards when I tried it. But race flight, honestly, I still preferred it. Still felt like it actually flew better than when I compared to putting beta flight on it.
Yeah.
So it's just what I stick with now.
I think like one of the biggest things for me is I can't be bothered tuning anymore. It sucks.
Yep.
I've given up. So I'd much prefer just to stick something on and fly it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the other thing I noticed with race flight versus beta flight was that once you had the filtering sort of stuff sorted and you didn't have any weird gyro stuff happening, and you're getting sort of clean signals, you could have like a huge variation of P, I, and D, or especially P, and it would still fly. It wouldn't start doing weird stuff like beta flight would.
Did you see what Scott Taylor has been doing now that he switched over to race flight?
He's been bending his props and saying that he can fly with bent props.
Yeah, he literally bent every single prop on his machine on tri-blades and then just continued flying. He's like, oh, it still flies amazing.
Yeah. Well, I don't change my props for months at a time now. My props have got bits sticking out of them, chunks missing, and I just keep flying it.
Yeah, I stopped doing that. I get to a point now, mainly because I'm running those racecraft props, and when they get nicked and chipped and slightly bent, they do start to have issues. But yeah, the main point is that you can hit a gate or whatever, and you can continue flying. That was the whole point behind race flight, was that you could have a bent prop and you could still finish the race, and that's what they primarily designed it around.
Yeah.
But yeah, the new version is just awesome. There's a beta coming out this week, or a public beta coming out this week for Raceflight 1, which is based on build 158 of Raceflight 1, which was a few builds back. I think I'm on 162 at the moment. But the actual PID controller portion and filtering is all sorted. They're just doing the GUI now. They're just tidying it up. And also adding in some secret source stuff. I don't know exactly what, but more magic and sorcery more than likely.
And hopefully cleaning up their code so they haven't copied any of it.
No, it's all rewritten. There is no. It's completely rewritten. There's no code that's.
That's what they say, but
yeah, we'll never really know.
Yeah, true. But anyway, it's all closed source this time.
When should we upgrade though to Raceflight 1?
Oh, as soon as you can get hold of it. Like, honestly, as soon as you can get hold of it. Is anybody flying? Are you flying tomorrow, Stefan?
Yes, I can fly tomorrow.
All right. Well, I've got race flight on my machine, on my Chewy 162. I'll load it on your machine, on one of your machines, and you can fly it. And you'll be like, "Oh my god, this is amazing." But honestly, as soon as it comes out and there's a beta, get it, because you literally just flash it and away you go.
And what did I want to say? So while we're on the topic of race flight, what's your I've lost my train of thought. Something else go. Yeah.
So let's talk about some props for a change.
Yep. Okay.
Because Michael, I love the 50-51 racecrafts because I got pwned by them in Hawaii. And I tried them when I came back, and they were what I've always said, they were what APCs should have been.
Yep.
And contrary to popular belief, they don't actually suck the battery power. Like we were flying at Music Point yesterday, no, day before yesterday, I forget what. And you were monitoring my feed, and at full throttle on Emax 2600s, the S model. With 50-51s on, they were pulling what, 70 amps at full throttle?
Yeah, it's not just that. It's just when you're going kind of easy, and you're kind of you're still getting insane lap times, and you're not hammering it, but you're 80%. The amp floor is reasonable. It only gets crazy when you're really, really heavy on the throttle stick.
Well, I found that if you do like a real sharp 180 snap turn kind of thing, or if you dump the throttle and then get back on it to stop itself, that's when you see the peaks. But once it's going, it's actually alright. It's only when you're doing the hard stops and goes that it really sucks the power, or probably if you've got a heavy machine. I would imagine that would suck a fair bit of power as well. But otherwise, they're actually not too bad. Like when we were at North Shore and we did the how many
Endurance.
laps can we get? Yeah, we did how many laps can you get out of a battery? It was the same as
It was
normal
like
props.
a lot difference between our machines.
Yeah.
And
So-
that could just be something else, you know.
Mm. But I find that you can just cruise at like 50% throttle and be as fast as everybody else,
Yep.
and still have more in the tank.
That's kind of the thing, though. That I think they seem to have sort of a weird efficiency curve. So I guess they're sort of made to be most efficient when you're going at like something like 70% throttle. But if you're on a track that's like a really small, tight track where you're doing lots of tight turns and you're not really getting to like high throttle ranges, that's when they start to get a bit less efficient.
The one thing I've noticed is the control at the low throttle versus kind of like the Dell 50, the Dell Tri 45, the 5045s. I found that any of those type of props, when you're at low throttle, they kind of there's kind of like a ballooning that happens when that like 25% throttle at the bottom. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of like it bites and balloons and bites and balloons. I don't get that with the 5051s.
It's
I was kind of, I don't know, I was kind of wondering if it feels like you have more control with the 5051s because they have less thrust at a lower range.
Yeah. I mean, if you're looking at the prop style, you'd expect that. I
It
can
kind
see
of feels
Hadley.
like- It kind of feels like you've added an exponential throttle curve to your throttle stick, but actually you haven't.
I don't know. I think it feels more linear, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like the range is linear, so you go up through the throttle even slowly, and there's no kind of bits where it peaks. Whereas with the old 5040 HQs, there was at the top end they would kind of peak out and just flatten out.
Yeah.
Um,
But they've
and
got way
the
too much bite at the bottom.
yeah, and then the 5045s would keep going at the top end, but would bite too much at the bottom. They just I don't know. But onto your testing, because you did a bunch of testing, Michael, right? Between a bunch of props. So just tell us what you did and what you want about and your methodology and what you actually found out in the end.
So my testing was really just to find out which, like the speed of each one. I didn't test the amp draw because I don't have an OSD. So the way I did that was basically just do full runs of a 100-meter field, record it in DVR, take the timestamp at the start and the finish, so I get the time for each length. Just take an average and then calculate the speed of each prop from that.
And which props did you test?
I tested the Racecraft 5040 Tri-Blade, the Racecraft 5051, the Dell Cyclone, and I just chucked a random 2-blade one in there, the Gemfan 5045 bullnose.
Yeah.
And what what motors did you use?
The Quad Junkie 2206 2450 motors.
They're the ZMX ones. I can't
Yeah,
remember
there's
them.
similar to ZMX.
Well,
range,
yeah.
I think.
I'm pretty sure they're Brother Hobby ones, but yeah, same thing.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool. All right. And what were your findings then?
Very interesting. The slowest by far, the Racecraft 5040, and I got a speed of around, I mean, it's all pretty rough, so 100 kilometers an hour for those. The Dell Cyclones were about 120, same as the Gemfan dual blade, and the 5051s were the fastest by a long way at almost 140.
Jeez. Yeah, and that backs up. There was another guy that we talked about in a previous episode that had done this similar sort of testing.
The
And
one on
he'd
Prop
found-
Wash?
Yeah, that's the one. Yep.
Yeah.
And he'd found that they're 20% average 20% quicker than anything else.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's the cheapest $2 and 20% upgrade you can get on a machine, really.
Expense of your batteries.
No, well then that's the thing. It's not at the expense of batteries.
Yes, it
And
is.
that's
If you're flying like me, it is.
A lot of
yeah.
people say it is, though. Like, I think Scott and Brad said that they tried them. I'm not sure, and they said that it was just blowing up their batteries.
Yeah, but those guys.
Those guys fly was like, they pin it the whole time.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the funny thing about those guys is I asked them how they monitor their voltage and what voltage their packs come down at, and they told me that they just land when it falls out of the sky. So it's not really surprising that the batteries don't last very long.
Yep.
I guess it helps when you're reselling batteries as well.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, I like them, and that's all I've been running at the moment. I just wish there was a 6-inch version, to be honest. But I did see he's bringing out 2-blade version. Did you see that?
That'd be too slow. It's going to be a lower pitch.
Hmm.
And I hate 2 blades anyway. They drift too much around the corners.
Yeah, I've found that. Stefan loves them, though.
They're really good on the right machine.
No, they're not.
A super light machine and high speed motors, they're pretty good.
So what are you using then? Because you've got neither of those.
Well, I've got quick motors, and my machine's not there.
Oh, okay, you're half right. You're halfway there then.
I don't know.
And
They're just
maybe,
easy to use.
Maybe you need to cut some more hexagons in there.
Yeah, maybe. I just like them.
Okay.
It's what I'm used to. It's what I keep using. I know they're not the best.
But if they work for you, I guess if your machine's tuned for it, that's all you need, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we were doing some.
And they do the best in wind by far, and they also get good GoPro video.
Yeah, maybe. It's because they're so slow, though.
They're not that slow.
Especially like like filming from a Phantom, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Who won the last Rotocross for spec race?
I wasn't even there. If we want to talk about speed and what's fast, let's talk about the timing system that we set up at Music Point.
Yeah, I knew that was pretty good.
So I've been using the TBS race tracker for a while, and obviously Stefan hadn't used one yet. No, had you used one?
I had used one. I just don't own one.
Right. Okay. So we thought, okay, let's set up a quick track at Music Point, where we'll rip around. It's got an up and over a tree, and then underneath it like a split S through a relatively tight tree section. You go first, Stefan. Off you go.
So I started out the laps. I was doing about 14-second laps. I did a few laps, got pretty confident. I felt like I had pretty much nailed the course. I kind of got down to 13 seconds, and I think 13.6 was my fastest on my first round, and then Ian flew. And then he just completely dominated. He took like 2 seconds off my my fastest lap.
So the first one was a 12.
15-second track.
Yeah, it was quite a big track, but well, no, it wasn't actually that big a track.
No, it's a small track.
Yeah, it's quite a small track, but yeah, the first run I just went round. The second lap was 12 seconds, then it was 11, and then it was a 10. Yeah. And then after that, Stefan had another go because he saw the red mist and couldn't even do a lap.
Well, I got to like 12.6, but I was really, really hammering it.
Yeah, you're too excited.
Yeah. Red mist had descended at that point.
Yep, but I mean, my machine's probably not much lighter than yours in terms of weight. I mean, do you know what weight of your machine is?
Oh, I'm not too sure. I've never actually weighed it.
Might want to do that.
It would be 450 grams with no GoPro.
Really?
450 grams?
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's insane.
That's like more than my MXP used to weigh.
Probably, from memory, it's something like that.
Wait,
you need to cut some more hexagons, bro.
Graphene 1300 Hobby King battery.
No, is that with a battery?
Yeah, that's with the battery.
Oh, okay. Right, that's not too bad then.
Yeah.
So what, you're probably about 300 grams then?
Yeah, probably.
No, that's alright, because that's what mine weighs.
Yeah.
Me too.
Alright. I mean, I was able to get a fix down to 270 something, but I've just not been able to get any other machine down to sub 300 recently.
Yeah, I can't do it. I've been trying really hard. I don't know how you get below 300, to be honest.
Nah.
Unless you're just using shitty motors.
Yeah, either shitty motors, maybe a 4-in-1 ESC. That's going to drop you like 5 grams up, but you're going to need to start off with a super light frame.
Yep.
To start off with, but even the ultralights and stuff, because you got a hyperlight, haven't you?
Yep.
Michael. And that's only what, 50 grams?
60 with all the hardware.
Yeah, it's nothing. Like, where's the extra weight coming from?
I don't know. I
mean,
have
the
no idea.
props are quite heavy though these days, I've found.
Maybe I use too much solder.
Yeah. Just tape them on. Hot glue. That's all you need.
You have to massage your frame and like rub it with sandpaper. Just get rid of all the lacquer on it. That saves like.
Just get the Dremel out and just start cutting the frame. It's like take an extra 10, 15 grams off it, no problem. I tried aluminium screws all over, and that drops a little bit, but not enough to really care. And the annoyance of stripping them every 2 minutes.
The same thing with the whole weight thing. Ended up coming down to the same thing as like the tuning thing for you, Michael. I would rather have a more reliable quad and just have that one quad that I can just hammer on all day, and I don't have to worry about breaking it, so the quad stays the same throughout the day, and I can get consistent laps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it comes down to.
I hate
comes
switching
down to
quads because no matter
yeah.
what you do, there's always a bit of a difference.
Well, not unless you build 4 of the same machine.
I have
Hashtag pro tip. So how many machines are you running, Michael?
2, and I've got another one on the way.
There you go, you see?
I can't imagine ever needing more than 3, though, honestly.
At one point I had like 4 or 5 machines, and I cut it back to 2 because all of a sudden I had 4 or 5 machines, and they're all just broken. Because I would break it and be like, "Oh, I'll fix it later. Oh, I'll fix it later." It's like, "Oh, I've got nothing to actually fly." Yeah,
Well, I've turned up to the field before with 3 machines, and even before I started racing, I was down to 1.
Yeah.
But to be fair, that is because I flashed firmware the day before a race.
Yeah.
So it's my own fault, really. But
2
anyway.
machines, good number.
No, I would say 3 is probably the good, because you're always going to get a mechanical failure. You get guaranteed mechanical failure, or somebody hits you and takes out a motor.
2 machines
Stefan.
and then 1 experimental machine.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I like.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm building a 6-inch for my 3rd one as a bit of an experiment.
Oh yeah, I've just done that again. It's good. Like it.
What do you reckon?
6-inch just gets better and better.
It's slow though. It's really slow.
What motors are you running?
The ZMX 2300s,
And
but
props?
it's slow. Dell 5045, 6045s.
Right.
Yeah, because I switched to 2600s, so I had my old 2300s from my XL races spare. So I thought, well, I might as well make use of them. Put a 6-inch together. I mean, it's not slow, but compared to the Emax machine, it's slow.
Why is it slow though? Because if you look at the benchmarks, 6-inch has a lot more thrust.
Yeah, so that means you can carry more GoPros. Thrust means absolutely nothing. Doesn't matter when it's going through the air, as you've proven with the with your prop speed test things. So when they arrive, you should do that.
We'll speed test it.
Yeah, because it's more air. Yeah, I can hear Chris Jackson as he's listening to this, along with Headley and Scott
Shouting at
going,
us.
What is he talking about? Shut your face, Richardson.
I can give you my impression of your 6-inch machine. That's what she said. But I enjoyed watching it fly because it does fly different to all the 5-inch machines, and it like accelerates and decelerates really nice, and it changes direction really quickly as well. But for some reason,
handling, it's awesome.
Yeah, it sounds cool, but it just doesn't have the top end for something.
Well, I think because it's such a big prop, there's a lot going through the air.
And
Regardless of the amount of thrust it's putting out, it's just not going through the air quick enough.
yeah, and
it's all RPM at the end of the day, isn't it?
As quick as a 5-inch, it would just be producing so much thrust.
Yeah.
Have you tried different props?
What? Well, what other props are there?
KK.
The King Kongs.
Yeah.
I've got some on the way. I've got the 6040s on the way to try it, but I still don't think they're going to be any better. You're just going to be wasting power then. You just don't need tri-blade on a 6-inch machine, to be honest. It just doesn't move.
I'll see. I'll do some tests.
I've got tri-blades here, and they didn't seem any faster, so yeah, I don't know. I just don't think you're getting the RPM out of them, to be honest. and I really don't think that's the best use case for a 6-inch either. I think the best use case for a 6-inch is a relatively tight track. Probably the Tapapa track is going to be where I use it, to be honest.
Yep.
That seems really strange to me.
You'd think, but it just doesn't move. You just got so much more control with it. But yeah, we'll see. I might go 4-inch down there. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Lots of options. But one thing I wanted to ask you, Michael, is obviously we've just talked about Stefan and I and how we've practiced previously. But when I was speaking to Greg Ralston from Daniel Way, he was saying that you've been doing some mad practice over the past year, and obviously it's paid off. But what specifically have you been doing that's enabled you to go from 0 to hero in a year?
Honestly, a lot of it is the simulator, I think, especially down here in Wellington where the weather is like almost always just shit, and it's been pretty bad. The summer hasn't really started yet, so quite a lot of simulator time. I think it really helps a lot.
What sim have you been running?
I started with some other ones, and then moved to Hot Props. Hot Props is pretty good once you get the settings right. But the professional drone simulation or FPV event or whatever it's called, that's definitely the best one.
Oh yeah. The UK one.
Yeah,
way better. No, I found that really good.
The DRL one is totally rubbish as well.
Yeah, no, I've tried that. I can be asked. There's a new one out, actually. I see. I saw on Instagram. There's a new one coming out from. Oh God, I can't remember who it is now. But it's. It looks like it's using the Unreal Engine, similar to Hot Props. But it was another. It's got the latest, the Sebring track on it. I think it's got the Sebring track on it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know whether it's any good, but so far I've not really found anything that's any better than the drone simulation one, to be honest.
Well, the cool thing about it is you don't have to mess with the settings. So you start it up and you stick your rates in. You can copy your rates from Betaflight or whatever, and it pretty much flies pretty good out of the box.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's quite good, and the tracks are quite good, and the fact that you've got online scoring as well. But I've kind of stopped doing that because it was putting me into bad habits. I found that I was just flying not how I would fly in real life.
Interesting.
To get the lap times. Yeah. Like you can go a lot faster in the simulator, but I stopped doing that and I started practicing how I would actually fly.
For me, the simulator did one thing. It made me comfortable flying through gates. Like, I always used to get like, oh, am I going to hit the gate? I'm nervous coming up to the gate. For me, the simulator allowed me to try so many different ways of going through gates that it just really quickly became muscle memory to fly through. Yeah. And just like consistently hit them.
Because you're using the same one, aren't you, Stefan? What sim are you using?
I've basically been using Liftoff.
You're just dead to me.
No.
Why are you even on this podcast, honestly?
I know, I wonder sometimes as well.
God's sake.
I'd rather go out and actually just fly.
Yeah, there's that. And that's I guess the beauty of this is once you can fly, it's often easier just to go out and fly.
I wish I could, but the weather's just so bad. Fuck.
Just do it, man. Doesn't matter if it's blowing like 100 k's an hour. I can't move at the moment. I do it.
A lot of problems coming out of you, Michael. The installation moved to Auckland.
Yeah. Just if it's not raining, it's good enough to fly.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Even then, just find some trees.
Yeah. I mean, I've flown in rain plenty of times.
Yeah.
That's
why I built the pod machines.
Out of the sky.
Yeah, just a bit of Corrosion X, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Pods, man. I'm telling you, TPU pods is the future.
Yeah.
As long as you can see, you can fly.
Don't fly in fog, it sucks.
Yeah, no. I haven't actually flown in fog.
I've done it multiple times now. Some of it has been
I'd like to. Did you go? You went above it, didn't you? You went above it?
Yeah.
Did your video drop out?
That's sketchy.
How was your video though?
Oh, fine.
Yeah?
The problem is that it gets like a really all these micro drops on the lens. So like you're starting out flying, and it gets worse and worse and worse. You can't see anything, and then it starts getting better again as the droplets on the lens get bigger. So it's like this catch-22. Do you land and clean your lens, the water off your lens, or do you just keep flying it till it gets so wet that it's okay again? Yeah.
The dilemma, eh?
It's not one that comes up very often.
No. So where do you have any stuff that you practice with, Michael, like the gates and stuff, or when you actually do get to fly in the rare
Yes.
occasions?
Yeah, I built some of the gates from the Ivy Rotor article. Those 1 meter.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, those are pretty sweet. They were pretty hard at the start because they're pretty small. But just practicing going through those again and again gives you a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
And then
Makes it a lot easier to hit a big gate. That's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. When you take that to a regular gate, you just go straight through. It's fine.
Yeah, well, it's certainly shown in your race positions that you finished. So it's good. It's good. So what was your first event that you went to?
The first proper event would be the Wellington chapter championship. I think it was probably in like March or something like that.
Oh, that's the one that Scott went to.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And then after that?
Well, we had a bunch of like local ones in
Oh,
Wellington. Apart from that, the Levin one in July.
Oh, yes, with the most laps.
Yeah, that was great.
No,
It was really good format.
No,
I loved it.
No.
Just doing heaps of flying.
Only you and Ashley enjoyed that.
I thought that was funny because all of you guys were like actually racing each other, and I was just like cruising around making sure I didn't crash.
Yeah.
And you won.
Yeah,
Yeah. Ridiculous.
it's easy as that.
Yeah.
It's got to push. The race style has to push you a little bit, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My favorite one is the one where you get qualifiers and then you get a bit of a shootout. That's still my favorite, the one we're using at the moment.
The one we did in Matamata was really good, and Taupo was great as well.
Yep.
Same sort of thing.
Was
The
Taupo
only
the same or
objection I
not?
have to that, like the biggest objection I have is like in the finals, like the final race, having a winner takes all single race is really exciting, but there's too much variance in racing. I think it should be like best of three.
In Taupo, we had best of 3 for the finals, I think, but in Matamata, we had best of 1. And I think I agreed it should be best of 3 like it was in Taupo. From memory.
That's interesting. I'm in two minds about that. I think if you've... Yeah, I don't know. I think if you've battled your way to the final, and it's a finals race, that should really be it.
I reckon it's okay if it's like between first and second, but if it's like, you drop down to 6th, which I don't think you do, but then it's a bit unfair.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, like the fastest person should win more often than not.
Yep.
And if you only have one race, I mean, you can easily crash out or have gear issues.
Yeah, but that's racing, right?
I enjoyed having 3 final races.
Yes. Yeah.
Instead
Okay.
of one.
And
That's
what
all
based
it
on
comes
points?
down to.
Based on
Yep.
points. So
It was based
10
on
points. Okay.
We actually ended up having a fly off anyway in Taupo,
Yeah.
so it did come down to a final, and that was really awesome.
Yeah, and then if it happens like that, I don't mind because it's between 2 people, and that's really
Interesting.
exciting.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I
have
can
to
see it
say
both
though,
ways.
Matthew's been doing a really awesome job of organising all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to next season of Rotocross. I think he's taken stuff from the first season and stuff from this season. He kind of mashed them up, and he's going to make like a super season of all the best bits. So I'm quite looking forward to it. Hopefully, it's the point system is simplified. It might not even be points based. Talking to him after the last episode, so it could be that there's each round is its own round, as opposed to as opposed to like a
knockout
league.
style thing almost.
No, just like it's that event. So the event is Levin, and
Yep.
if you win Levin, you win Levin.
Ah,
And the next one is Wellington, and you win Wellington, you win Wellington.
I kind of
With
yeah.
but the problem with the league idea is that if Rotocross goes down the track of events that are going to cost $100 a pop, right? For an event, because it's going to get to that, because they're going to be 2-day, 3-day events. They're going to have to be $100 6 times a year, plus travel, plus accommodation.
it's a lot of money.
That's a shit ton of cash.
What are we
The
running
big
at the
prizes
moment?
at that stage.
What are we running at the moment in terms of for the point standing? Are we running? I think we're counting up to 4 races or 5.
Yeah, up to 4.
Up to 4.
But-
okay, so once you've
yeah,
got your
but-
4 at the moment, it's your
Yeah,
best.
but what's the point though? But what's the point?
Yeah.
If you're only counting up to 4, what's the point? It needs to be everybody's all in, and
All
maybe
in.
you pay $200, and you're in the league, and then you can go to all the events, and you don't pay anything else. You just
Yep.
pay for your accommodation and travel, and you do it that way so that everybody's got a buy-in, and there's a money pool that gets dipped into. See, that would work. Or if it was like $300 for the season, right? So so you've qualified at your local events and your regional events, and you've proven that you're a fast enough pilot, and maybe the league is actually the top 30 pilots, and you pay $300, or the top 15 maybe pay $300, let's say, and then anybody else that wants to go to that event pays a fee just to enter that event, but the people that are already pre-qualified only have already paid, and you do it that way if you want to do a proper league. But I just think it's from a cost standpoint that's going to be very expensive. I mean, it was already when we did the first season, I went to 8 events. I think it was 8 events I went to, 6 a shit ton of events. Even that was expensive, and the amount of leave I needed to do that, it was ridiculous. I ran out of leave by the end of the year just doing that. So I mean, I like the idea of the league. It just needs to
It
be
needs to work around people's
sustained.
lives.
Yeah.
And just money and
Mm.
too many
But,
bad things.
But I like the idea of people being able to get behind their their favourite pilots and see who's ahead and who's not and what they're running and what kind of jazz. But it just needs to be viable for everybody to enter and be on an equal level playing field. Because not everybody's going to be able to attend every single event.
It's pretty tough for the guys in the South Island as well, I guess.
What generally, or
I mean, they can only they can only attend how many championships? 1 or 2.
they can attend as many as they like as long as they get on the plane. What is
Yeah.
their problem?
Yep.
But yeah, but that's exactly it, though, right? So I mean, you've got a bunch of guys down there that would have to get to 4 events in the North Island,
Mm.
plus entrance fees, plus accommodation, food, everything
It's a lot
else.
of
The car travel to get to places. It adds up. Even like going to Levin. What does it cost us to get to Levin? You reckon, Stefan?
Oh, just petrol was over 200 New Zealand dollars.
Then we got to stay at. Thankfully, we got to stay at Jonathan's.
For free, and then it was just food.
But
So
if you
that
flew
event
in,
was the cheapest event.
yeah. But if you flew in, so you did Taupo, and you flew into Taupo
Oh yeah, that
like a
cost
baller.
me like nearly $500.
That is the coolest thing ever, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was a special experience just flying in to somewhere and just being, yep, I'm here now, let's fly. Oh yeah, we're gonna fly in the plane back.
That is balling.
Got to fly the plane, got to see the view of the day.
Yeah, that is cool. But not really attainable for everybody.
No.
But yeah, I mean, what did it cost you to get to Taupo, Michael? You just drive up?
I just drove up. Yeah, made a bit of a weekend out of it with the wife, so it cost a little bit, but it was fun.
Yeah, but if you imagine you got to do that 6 times, Well, I'll say 5 times.
Yeah, it does start to add up.
Yeah, plus all your gear.
Oh yeah, the gear.
And the gear you're going to wreck at events, which you will be doing.
Well, yeah, I blew up like 2 lipos at the Taupo event and some other stuff.
Yeah, so it can add up pretty quickly. I mean, I'm all for it. I just think it needs to be viable. That's
I
all.
would probably budget like $300 an event. Just by the time you've added gear that you break, fuel, food, accommodation, you're being conservative.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much on the budget scale, I think, for most people. Young Z would never settle for that. Yeah, he's like Hilton everywhere.
Driving, what's that? If I had to sit down for more than an hour, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So he just spent money till he's not sitting for more than
But he's
an
like the cheapest guy ever. I don't get it.
Yeah, he
Like
could fit in the glove
he's
box.
saying, yeah. He's like, bro, we can get 50-cent props over here in China, which is where he is at the moment. And yet he can't. Yet he'll spend $500 to fly down to Tabo.
Yeah,
What?
Gotta love him.
Yeah, entertainment value for sure. Yeah. So, I mean, what are your future goals, Michael, for Rotocross going forward? Obviously, you're conquering giants here, making a bit of a name for yourself. What's your online name? You Michael FPV? What's your
FPV Doug.
FPV Doug? All right, and you've got an Instagram, presumably.
Yes, I do. Same name. YouTube,
And
same.
Sweet.
I don't have a whole lot up there yet, but I'm going to stick some more on there. I need to get a GoPro.
You don't have a GoPro? Oh, mate,
I have a
what are you
run
doing?
cam too, but it's a piece of crap.
Don't
I
tell
know
Mac
someone
and
that's
Zed
selling
that.
Hero 4 sessions.
There you
Yeah,
go.
Not relevant to talk on the podcast about.
I've spent too much money this month already.
Yeah,
I do like the Hero 5, to be honest.
Hero
It is
5
good.
It's pretty much worth it.
Yeah.
Weren't they
But what
like
if you break it?
$450 recently? Well, if you break it, you break it, don't you?
There's no insurance that they have in the States.
No. Well, just don't break it then.
So much money to lose in one crash.
Well, yeah. But actually, GoPro will take them back and repair them.
Or just
But you
long
also run the risk that they keep them as well, because they go, this is unrepairable.
Do you
They
actually
just keep
break
it.
them very often though? Have you guys broken it?
No, I've not. Oh,
I
no,
had
I broke one Hero 3.
Yeah, I had a genuine warranty issue with my Hero 4 session. And I got sent out another one. But my Hero 4 Black, I just seem to break LCDs and faceplates all the time. It's just maintenance stuff.
There was a GoPro insurance scheme, but I don't think it's over here yet. But they were doing it themselves, like like an Apple Care Top thing. It was a GoPro Care Top deal. Might be worth just contacting them and just finding out whether that's a thing or not.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely GoPro. It's just a nice size as well, and there's tons of mounts that you can get printed for them, and
The best.
and you can use it for other stuff as well. Once you get over the price, but they were like $450, so it's not outrageous.
Yeah, I'll get one.
Yeah.
Need to do some acro videos, man. Everyone loves those.
Don't start. Bloody acro. Who does that? It's like 5 people that do that. Nobody cares.
There's a competition.
Yeah, man, you can,
Whatever.
Thanks to Ivy Rotor, you can win some Mr. Steel motors.
Oh
Wasn't someone trying to sell them on classifieds recently?
No, they're different motors. These ones are brand new, I think.
Oh yeah, but they're just selling the steel motors.
Oh, it was different.
What was different? They were steel motors.
The motors, but there was another dude selling them.
Yes.
Yep.
What are you
Same
talking
type of
about?
motors, but a different set of motors.
I'm just saying that some guy on the classifieds was selling steel motors.
Yes, he was.
Cool story, bro.
Yep.
Just saying. All right.
This has got to be like the weirdest podcast so far.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. That's
Hey, what
happens
about
when
that
you get
time trial?
Ooh. Yes. Have you done that?
I've been practicing. On Friday, we set up a sort of a hack together track at WMAC, Wellington, Model Aircraft Club, and we had a few rounds.
How'd it go?
Nothing-
Because it's what 5 laps of the tsunami course, isn't it?
Yeah,
UTT. Yep.
UTT 2.
Ian's gonna
It's-
beat me. I'm not even gonna try.
Oh, I hate the UTT tracks.
Why? It was a lot of fun.
I just hate them.
Get into a really
It's
nice
actually,
rhythm.
it's actually better that they're doing 5 laps, so I don't mind that too much. The 1 lap was stupid. But what,
Yeah,
what was your
true.
time? Did you get a time?
I don't know. Something around 50 seconds for 5. Was it 5 or 4?
You've just killed the dreams of like a whole bunch of people on Rotocross now. You know that.
It might have been a bit more. It was like a 10 or 11 seconds per lap, I think. But it wasn't actually a proper course. We just sort of guessed it.
Oh, okay. That's still pretty quick though, because I think it's only like a 8 or 9 second course.
Yeah. Well, the fastest time was like Night Fury, 7 seconds something. But yeah, I think anything
Holding
under
on to
10
that for 5. Yeah, I think probably averaging 9s is going to be the way to go.
that would be pretty quick for 5.
Yeah, it's probably doable though.
Are you guys
Yeah,
going
I'll
to
try
Maybe
fill it
not
up?
for Stefan. Maybe not for Stefan and his 2 blades.
I might
it's
switch
flying.
to 3 blades just for
Ooh.
this one event.
Hi.
It's not a 2-blade track.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's quite a lot of snappy turns in full throttle, isn't it? Yeah, we'll have to set that up. We'll have to get. I think Martin was talking about it for Flight Club. So yeah,
Keen.
quite interested in that. Yeah, keen, definitely keen for that.
Mm.
5 laps would be good. We can just run races on it and just time yourself. Doesn't really matter.
And how are they doing the sort of making sure everyone's getting accurate times?
Well, you either have to have video proof,
Okay, so
or you
DVR.
can use, or you can use a race tracker. But I think if you go that route, it has to be verified by a chapter manager
Organizer.
or whatever it is, organizer. Yeah.
So I can verify myself. Sweet.
You sly bastard, you Ian.
Loophole.
Yep.
Nah, but I'll wait till my HD3s arrive if they ever get back to me. Such sad. Apparently there's a discrepancy. There'll be a discrepancy between GoPro footage, so don't record it on a GoPro.
What's
Just
that?
FYI. I don't know. There's what's his face, Rec. I saw a video of him comparing lap timing systems, and his GoPro was a different time to his DVR. I think it's something to do with the frames. I don't know.
I actually had one of my DVR recordings like slow itself down by maybe something like 30%. I have no idea
Really?
why. Just one time, yeah.
Jeez.
It happened on one of those speed tests that I did.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I love
No
a
one's
racetrack anyway, so it's not too
No
bad.
one's really ever double checked how accurate racetrackers actually are.
No, they have.
They have?
There's a whole bunch of tests. Do you not even YouTube, bro?
Obviously not in the right place.
Oh, well, no, you're on RedTube, aren't you? Wrong.
Yeah.
That's the wrong YouTube.
No one posted it to Multicopter on Reddit, so I haven't seen it.
People see. Yeah, okay. No, but yeah, I think there's a bunch. I've seen a bunch of people testing it anyway. It seems pretty accurate. Like that and the easy race lap time are about the same.
Yeah.
Accurate enough anyway.
It's a little bit of a sketchy concept, doing tracking on RSSI.
Not really. Not if your bubble's small enough.
Yeah,
If you
if your
calibrate it properly,
bubble's-
it's fine.
Yeah, it's probably all about how you set it up makes a big difference.
Yeah, because it does some. I know the TBS one does some funky calculations. It doesn't just as soon as it detects it, calculates it. It actually
Probably
actually-
has to be the running average.
it will calculate it through the bubble and then figures it out from that. So it's a bit more accurate than other ones, apparently. But I don't know how much bullshit that is. Could be just talking rubbish. But
Just hobby doesn't matter.
yeah, it's fun fly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fun fly, 30%, not an issue. So what's your next event that you're going to, Michael?
To Papa.
To Papa, we're all going to that, aren't we? That's gonna be awesome.
It's going to be a good catch up of all the NZ pilots.
Yeah, keen. Looking forward
We
to
should
that.
probably do a podcast while we're down
Yeah, we can try.
Maybe we could actually go legit and try set up some microphones around a table.
Whoa.
Ooh,
I don't have a microphone though.
no, neither.
So
Just
that's
bring your headset with a laptop.
Just everyone record it with their phones or something like that.
Oh, that'll work. That'll work awesome, bro. Yeah, we'll give it a whirl. Maybe I can record it on my phone, and we'll just do it around the table. But there's typically the crappy background noises and stuff.
Yeah, down in New Zealand we don't have budget for nice things like this.
No. Ooh, actually, I'm getting fibre soon though.
Oh, fancy.
In April.
Oh, nice.
It's not
So
really that soon, is it?
It'll probably get connected by December then.
Yeah, something like that. Oh, so annoying, not having fibre. You got fibre down in Wellington, Michael?
Oh yeah, of course. Come on.
Can't be
Had it
doing
for
that.
years.
Oh, yeah, of course, because it's all structured down there, isn't it? Government, jazz.
Everything's close to each other.
All right. Well, I haven't got anything else really. Has anybody got any other news or anything they want to talk about? Silence.
Yep.
All good. All right then. Well, thanks for coming on, Michael. It's great to having a talk. Hopefully, we've given the listeners what they wanted. So, thank you very much, and goodbye till the next episode.
Thank you. It was fun.
No problem.
See ya.